Welcome to Puhl FAQ, where we answer some of the questions we hear most often from trim collection system owners. Here to answer today's question is GF Puhl's Director of Sales, Greg Baum.
When customers call us saying that their dust filter isn't working or the dust bags aren't lasting very long, or their system has lost suction, in many cases, oil or water in the compressed air system is at the root of the problem. How can this be? Air compressors use ambient air for compression. Ambient air contains moisture. As the compressed air is used and decompressed in the process, the air blows out into the dust collector to clean dust off of the bags or cartridges. The cooling effect of decompression can cause the air temperature to fall below the dew point, and the result is condensation, which creates water which ends up in the filter bags. Air compressors also must be lubricated with oil, like the engine in a car. As the compressor wears, more oil slips past the compressing cylinders or screws. It passes into the compressed air and typically follows the path of least resistance. Over time, small amounts can end up in dust filter bags or cartridges. When you mix dust with oil or water, the dust cakes up. When that happens, dust isn't released from the bags or cartridges, even when the dust filter pulses to clean itself. The end result is buildup on the bags, reduced suction at the machine, and plugs in the air conveying system. Customers at times have a hard time believing that as little as a gallon of oil or water in the compressed air system can wreck thousands of dollars of filter media, bags, and cartridges. When we suggest that an old compressor system may be causing the problem, we're often told that the house air system has been just fine for years. A compressed air system can seem just fine when it's not, because oil in the compressed air lubricates air cylinders and solenoids. It also protects the other production equipment from water that may also be in the system. Oil in the compressed air system is notoriously hard to detect. Sometimes it's like a film of oil on a glass window. So when customers insist that there's no oil in the system, we have to detect whether oil is present. Even a small amount of oil is often enough to cause big problems. So what's the fix? One strategy is to install a good house air dryer separator and a backup inline water and oil trap with auto drain function. This is a air, oil, water separator. It separates oil and water from compressed air. It's a small device that can be added in line on your dust filter system. And what it'll do is if your main compressor system breaks down, if your dryer, your oil separator breaks down, this will save, this little $200 or $300 device will save tens of thousands of dollars of filters if you have a large filter system. Now the one that you might have to have, which might be larger, however, it's still just a few $100s and it can save tens of thousands of dollars of filters. It also helps keep the air dry and clean, and the requirement for a dust filter is clean and dry air. Sometimes if you get a little bit of oil or a little bit of water, you can't see it. It doesn't seem like it's there, but what it does is it reduces the performance of a dust filter. So you'll see the reduction in performance of the filter, but you won't know what's causing it. A lot of times it's the compressed air system. A good compressor dryer maintenance program is the primary line of defense to keep a filter clean and functioning optimally. The second line of defense is the auto-draining inline air oil trap. Here's a tip you can try yourself. If your local compressed air system vendor is telling you the air is oil-free, look at your pulse valves and pulse tubes. If your dust is yellow, it probably has oil in it. If you aren't sure, lay some of the dust on a piece of white copy machine paper and let it sit overnight. If there is an oil stain in the paper, show it to your compressed air system vendor. Unless you're processing oil-impregnated paper, you have oil in your compressed air. Here's another thing to remember. If your compressed air dryer is the refrigerant type, the dew point of refrigerant dried air is typically 36 degrees Fahrenheit. This means if you have an outdoor filter using refrigerant dried compressed air, it is probably causing condensation in the filter. For outdoor applications where temperatures go below 36 Fahrenheit, we recommend desiccant type dryers. You don't need to purchase a desiccant dryer for your whole compressed air system, just for the portion of the air going outdoors to the filter and the photo eyes. So if you're noticing a problem with system performance, one of the first things to check is your house compressed air system. Make sure it's oil and water free for optimum performance. And if you need experts to help you troubleshoot, just give us a call.
For more information about trim collection systems, contact GF Puhl at 615-230-9500 or visit gfpuhl.com.